You've turned their pages, now hear their voices. Today we have CeCe Wylder. Thank you, CeCe, or welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're absolutely welcome. So you wrote The Scars of War. It is absolutely delicious. You want to talk about it?
Sure. So the Scars of War by me. It is the first book in a series of five. Um, it is about a sassy, badass woman named Lux, and she finds herself entangled in a spicy way with the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Um, yeah, I don't know how much you want me to talk like about it right now, but um, I I I wrote my book in first person present because I really wanted the reader to feel like they are going on this adventure, like they are the one who is entangled with the four horsemen. Um, so it's very much me, and things are happening in the present right now. And I would say like 79% of my book, you're meant to feel confused and just you don't know what the fuck is going on. And yeah. So
Lots of
it's
what
a
the
wild,
fucks.
confusing ride.
No, we loved it. There was parts in your book, and I've been saying this. Well, I don't know what that was about, but welcome back, CeCe.
Thank you.
I swear every time we like plan something, something goes wrong. Every time.
It's me. I'm cursed, but it is what it is.
You're
We'll
not.
get through it.
Okay, so Lux, reading your book, I had to flip the page and be like, did I miss something? Like what just happened? But there's one favorite few lines that played rent free in my head over and over and over and over. And you already know what it is because I had to make some videos about it because it would not stop playing in my head.
Yeah. Every time I see one of your videos about that part, I laugh so hard. Just because like when I wrote it, I didn't even think about like that even that like that it never crossed my mind that that would be like a part that somebody like picked up and was like, this is the part I enjoy. Like that was just like it's such a random spot, but I love it. I love that that has happened to you and it's happened to somebody else too on a completely different spot. And I'm just like, those aren't even the good ones.
No, but it was one of those moments that just popped out and ran with it. I
I
was
love
like, she's
that.
gonna think I'm crazy making all these videos with horse sticks and what was it? What was the other one? A
There's a
unicorn?
unicorn, the dragon or alligator,
Was
something.
definitely was not an alligator.
Might have been a dragon.
I don't even remember. But it was fun. And I was like, well, this is what we have to work with because I can't find the unicorn.
I loved it, honestly. Like, so I'm the worst at social media, like the absolute worst. I forget it exists a lot of the time. So I don't make videos. And to come across, like, to go on to like TikTok or Instagram, I've seen them on Instagram and see your videos, it honestly it brightens my whole life just because like, reading my book and my words has touched you in a way that had made you feel like you wanted to do this. That's honestly, that's so exciting to me. And the fact that, you know, there's a unicorn and the, the, ghost phase stuff, I like it. I love it. Like the level of comedy is genius.
Well, your book is genius. I can say on a good note that your book is unique And I love that aspect. I devoured it, but I also didn't want it to end. There was a couple of chapters that you wanted me to read with you just so you could see my face expression because I can't hide this. It has no subtitles. And I, I keep using your pen as like this thing. So if you guys have not, you need to go buy The Scars of War by CeCe Wylder and the boxes specifically so you can get your own fidget pin because this thing is phenomenal. I just keep playing with this thing all day long. And you'll see it in just about every single podcast where I'm like, and, pointing at people for extra emphasis.
I've definitely been watching your podcast videos on YouTube and I'm like, oh, there's my pen. Oh, there it is.
I love that when you see my podcasts alert, you put it on a big screen. And it means a lot to me, not only to have you as a friend, but to be able to read your book, to be able to geek out about it, to make videos about it. And you're so supportive of your followers, of your friends you've made. You're just all for it. And you're their biggest hype person.
Thank you.
Then we should return the love by being your biggest hype person.
Okay, but I love supporting everybody. And I would have not made it to here. I would have not made it to this point if it wasn't for like the support of my newfound friends. I can say like in my real life, my biggest supporter has been my husband and my best friend Sabrina. Other than that, I haven't really had a whole lot of support about my writing journey. So going onto TikTok and meeting you and all of my other friends, like it's
And
really
Richie,
made, oh my God, he deserves like his own like whole podcast of me just like talking about him. But
they
yeah,
can do
like
that.
honestly, just going onto TikTok and meeting you, Richie,
Nugget.
Kay Bello, Kay Bello, the author of The Final Dip, or as you know on TikTok, Lil Nugget, Rowan. I mean, every single one of these people have had an impact on my life and my writing. And it's so crazy to me how social media has been able to do that. Because when I started on TikTok, I was not actively writing. I actually started on TikTok, during the pandemic, like everybody else. I just wanted to watch the cool dances and like laugh about Tiger King and whatnot.
That was a wild ride.
It really was. I loved it. But then my ADHD got out of control and I started using TikTok for body doubling while I was working. I work from home. So I was using it to body double. So I was able to sit down and I was able to work because, I had that going on. And one day, Rowan came in to my live and was talking to me about how he's an author and he was writing a series. And I told him that I have had an idea for a series in my brain for years. And we just talked about it. And then, like, our conversations kept going, like, for about a week. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start writing it.
As you should.
And then, literally, I started writing The Scars of War. I started outlining it, but, and then, I started writing. So I literally wrote this book, like 95% of it while I was on TikTok Live. Multiple of my chapters were actually named by people in my live. Because I was like, this is what I'm writing about. What should the title be? So like people were throwing out title names like that's like the one thing like nobody could ever accuse me of is like I've never had any artificial assistance when it comes to my book because it was very much a collaborative experience while I was doing the writing. I had questions. I would ask it in the live. Like, what do you guys think about this? Like, tell me if this. is off base. So it was a thing, but like it's crazy how social media has like brought us all together, and not just like authors, not just writers, but
Yes,
voice
people.
actors and like everything. It's just like it's a whole world. It's crazy.
And you can meet people from all over.
Yeah, like it's I mean, I'm on the East Coast and you're in the like middle of the country. It's insane. Like how
It
like we
cracks
could
me
have
up.
never like we would have never like without social media like come across each other.
Right.
I don't know. I like it.
And you have quite a few fans. And I think that it's precious that they read your book over and over and over, and your book is a comfort for them. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, so I have one in particular and I love her so much. I actually by the time that I was finished writing my book, she had read it um through and she was one of my um last ARC readers. And she was so excited about my book and she was just like absolutely in love with it and was just telling me so much about like her feelings about it that I went in. I didn't tell anyone. I went in and I changed one of the names of one of the characters to her name.
Jagarna. I can't even pronounce
It's
words today.
Dragana.
Yes, thank you. Your assistant is useful. Assistance. Told you. Englishing. But go ahead.
But yeah, so I changed her name in the book to Dragana. Dragana used to be named Devon.
I'm glad you
So
changed it.
yeah, I actually like it was spelled really cool. I went to college with a girl who spelled her name Devyn. And I was like, I like that. That's unique. So I wanted to use that, but I was like, no, no, because Dragona is going to end up being very important in the story. So to be able to rename her that, like it's really special. It's really special to me, and I'm glad that I get to take her on the journey.
And it is a journey for sure. The amount of plot twists um, is crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't. So you said earlier, like that my writing is very unique, and that was very purposeful. I actually So I've officially made it as an author. I got my first one-star review. Thank you.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yes. And this person, their review, honestly, like, I mean, they DNF'd my book at 24%, but whatever, that's fine. I mean, I DNF'd Akatar.
I haven't even read it.
I DNF'd it. I couldn't do it. But they literally were like, she used similes. There's too many of them. I mean, God forbid I use an element of literature. God forbid.
How
Um,
dare you?
I know. That makes me garbage. Straight up garbage. Uh,
No,
but
they're missing the whole entire plot.
literally.
Whole entire plot. If you listen, let me just put this pen down because I'm going to end up checking it. You're not ready for the plot twist. You're not. Like, I cannot tell you how many times I messaged CeCe and was like, what the fuck? Like, did I miss something? And she's like, keep reading. Just keep going. I'm like, okay. Okay. I'm of course going to keep going. But I paused in so many places because I didn't want it to end, and I think that's what makes it great. But if you keep reading, you you reach you reach the part and you're like, yeah, holy shit, I could not have put that together. There's no fucking way. I would have been able to guess that because it is so left field, like in the best way possible. It is a shocker, but they missed the whole entire point with that.
Yeah, I very intentionally wrote in the style that I did, and I will continue to carry it out through the series. It will change toward book 3, 4. It's going to become a little bit more clearer, but you can guarantee book 2 and probably 3 are also going to be very heavy on the similes, very heavy on the confusion, because this is you're living this as Lux. You are confused. You don't know what's going on.
Right.
Like I'm intentionally trying to make it very overwhelming. I want you to have the details of what it is and what it isn't, because she's trying to put together all of these pieces. I mean, just imagine you just like you're one day you're tending bar, the next day you find out the four horsemen of the apocalypse are real and you're supposed to be up in there with them. Like, what would you, what feelings would you have? I mean, I know what feelings I would have.
I'd want to run the fuck away and be like, yeah, no, let me go back to my old life.
And then when that's not an option, you just have to like figure it out. You have like, you end up facing it. And like, what does that feel like? What does that look like?
Can I just speak on your book boxes real quick?
Yes.
So, when you get the Scars of War, right, and you read it, you will see that every single item in the book box has been thoroughly thought out and meticulously planned. So, if you read it and you pay attention, every single item is in this book. And I mean it, like, I kind of got pissed off at myself, okay? I'm not even going to lie to you. Hold on a second, let me find it. I knew I had it somewhere. Okay, so the envelope I ripped up because I couldn't open it and I really wanted to, right? But I'm not giving away too many spoilers. But these should also be like some kind of worry stone, pocket gift, whatever. Every single item you put so much attention and detail into, and I love that about your book box. It's not just random. It's not just like, hey, let's fill the box with stuff. It's
Mm.
meticulously thought out.
Thank you. I definitely really enjoy curating the book boxes. So for the Scars of War, I had two different ones because I wanted to make sure that, because, you know, in this economy,
Right?
people cannot afford, you know, the biggest things. So I wanted to have some different options. I have on there just, you know, my on my website, I have on like my regular just signed copies of my book. And then I also have like a smaller book box, which had all of the really like the sentimental items for the book. The only thing that was missing was some of the bigger ticket items. And then I
Of
had
course.
a larger box that had those items. But I wanted to make sure that, you know, with people's different budgets, they would still be able to have a piece of that. So I definitely I really like thought about it, and I 90% of the stuff that is in the book box I actually handcrafted, and I did that while I was on TikTok live. So I
Mm-hmm.
would be sitting there talking to people about my book, talking about their books. Because that's one thing about me is I don't want to just talk about my book. Now, honestly, 90% of the time I don't want to talk about my book. I want to hear about other people's books. Like I know what mine I know what's in my book. Tell me about yours. Like get up here in this box with me and you tell me about you. Tell me about what you wrote. Like let's hear about your journey.
Let's geek out about it.
Exactly. I'm doing the CeCe Wylder podcast. We're not recording. I mean, I guess technically we are. TikTok does, but whatever. I'm not doing anything with that. But whenever I would be on there talking to people, I would be putting together pens, I would be putting together keychains, bookmarks. At one point, so I had some tote bags that went into the larger box. I was on TikTok Live with an iron, literally ironing these decals onto these totes. Like, it was a whole thing. Like, but I love doing it. I love seeing the box when it's finished, and then to see videos of people who have gotten the box, opening it and doing like an unboxing. That was like my birthday, which, I did release this book on my birthday.
You
So,
did.
um, like every single video I saw of somebody opening one of the boxes, it brought me immense joy. And then, like, when I see videos of like just people randomly at this point, when they're making videos and then they have my book in their background, I'm like, there it is. It's in the wild. Like, it's so exciting.
When they see them in the wild. That's funny. I know one day you realized that my book was right behind me. And you're like, oh my gosh, my book. And you get so excited about it. But can we I had a thought and it just left.
They do that.
This cover, by the way, is so colorful and gorgeous. I absolutely love how bright it is and it's attention getting. But
I I am obsessed with my covers. So the covers for all five books are done. Um, they do match. So they're not identical. Each book has its own elements to it that I worked with the creator. My book cover like artist, I worked with her and we created them all at the same time. So they will all of my covers will have the flames that wrap around the entire book. They all have that. It is not all this brightly colored, but they all will match in that way so that when you line them up, because you will get my entire series, um, it'll all have the flames on the sides.
I love that.
But thank you. Yes, I absolutely love it. I love my cover artist. I'm actually working on a standalone right now, not in the Horseman series, and she also created the cover for that book as well, and it's gorgeous. I just love her work.
No, she did a great job on that. So, did your book come from a dream, a fever dream? Like, where did it come
Um,
from?
no, so my book came from I've always okay. My parents made the mistake of sending my younger sister and I to a very evangelical Christian school when we were young. And I have always been a very headstrong and very questioning person. So in Christian school, we had to learn Bible verses, and it was very much learn about the Bible instead of math or English. So when we got to Revelation, I actually paid attention because I was like, this is wild. Like, I was in the fourth grade thinking, damn, they like were on some type of like serious like acid trip or something, because who thinks of this? Like, this is nuts. And just the story of the horseman has always stuck with me. Like, we have them just, heralding in all of these things so that, it's bringing apocalypse, like end of the world. And I've always just been absolutely fascinated with that. And I've watched so many different movies, about end times. And the 90s was a really great time for that, by the way. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you're into end times horror movies, look in the 90s. They were great. There's one with Demi Moore
Oh,
called
yeah.
The Seventh Sign. amazing. But so this always been just kind of like a reoccurring hyperfixation with me. And, as I've gotten older and my reading habits have changed, I moved more into the smut department. um, it's just what would happen with the end of the world, the end times, plus smut. So
Oh,
it just kind of started there.
you can never go wrong with some smut.
And the twist, the big twist
Mm-hmm.
towards the end, that actually did come to me in a dream. I thought I was done writing that book. I was going to be done writing the book that day. I was going to just wrap it up um in a very like anticlimactic way. And I woke up, I like straight up out of bed, like gasp. It was very cinematic. And I was like, I'm not done. And my husband just looks at me. He was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I'm not done. I know what's happening." And I went in and I had to change my outline. I had to change it like in a lot of ways because I'm an outliner. I can't just sit down and start
Mm-hmm.
writing because the ADHD is strong with this one. And if I tried to do that, I'm going to start out talking about Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, and we're going to end up on like Alvin and the
The cute
Chipmunks.
kitty.
Like Alvin and the Chipmunks go to Vegas. I don't know. Like it's going to be crazy. But so I had to go and I had to change my outline, and I started writing and I did not stop. I think it took me like about 4 more days than I had anticipated to finish, but it was so worth it because that twist makes everything make sense. Like
Yeah.
it just ties everything together. And I'm so glad that Lux was like in my brain saying, hey, girl, this is what it is.
We're thankful for Lux's dream.
Yes.
So there's also another book. You want to talk about it? Or no?
Which one? Are we talking about book two of the of Ruin and Fire series or my standalone? My standalone is called, I'll release the title here for the first time. It's called Beneath Silver Springs, and it is a book about a woman who in 1692 gets caught up in the witch trials. Her lover betrays her and does not stand up for her. And we all know the outcome of the trials. So she ends up getting killed. And with her dying breath, she curses her former lover. And
You'll have to read the rest.
we watch and see how that plays out.
I was like, CeCe, do not give away any spoilers.
No, no. So that's all on the back of the book. That's part of the blurb. So yeah, I'm very excited about it. It's a good time. So I do have some people who are reading it as I'm writing it, and I'm trying to write it in a different way than I wrote The Scars of War. You can still tell that it is me writing it. So like you can pick up my writing style throughout, but I'm definitely trying to make it different just because I know that not everybody wants to live their life in chaos and confusion. Weird. So I am trying to change it up a little bit, but it's still first person present perspective because I think that's all I will ever write. I love it. I think it's so interesting and I don't think it's done enough these days.
Now, so I have to say that every book you publish, I'm going to hype you up. I think you deserve it. It's very unique and like thrilling, and the plot twists and the what the fuck moments. It all makes for a beautiful book. And then at the end, you're cursing CeCe. So
I
enjoy that.
appreciate it. Yeah, no, when I wrote the end of Scars of War, I locked myself in my room. I listened to one song on repeat and I cried and typed. I
Yeah.
like the ending of my book wrecked me far harder than it has wrecked anyone else, which I think is absolutely hilarious because I know where it's going.
Hmm.
So like I will say the ending of my book is it is shocking, but endings are never the end, especially when you're in the first book in a 5 book series. But it wrecked me to write the end of that book.
No, I can only imagine because you get so wrapped up in your own writing when you're an author. And the fact that you cried writing the end speaks volumes. So, thank you for that. Thank you for the tears.
Oh. There were many tears shed by me in the writing of this book, but I'm glad that I get to share my brain, my words with the world. This book was my birthday gift to myself. Thank you, Rhett. So yeah, this book was my birthday gift to myself. I released this on my 40th birthday. I've always wanted to be an author and I have so many started and abandoned projects for years. I just opened my I think it's called like Good Notes or something like that app. I found it on my buried on my phone. And I have works in progress from like 12 years ago. And I'm just like, where the hell was I going with this story? This is nuts. But I've always wanted to be an author. And I just I dug my heels in and I said, I will have this done. I will release this on my birthday. So I got to say when I woke up, when I turned 40, I was a published author. So that was the biggest thing for me.
That's phenomenal. I have a question though. When did you start calling yourself an author? When you were writing it? When you started writing it? Were you an aspiring author?
So for me, I was a writer until I hit until it published. When it published, I in my brain became an author. I know that's different for everyone,
Hmm.
but to me that was when it changed. I still call myself a writer because I'm always writing, but I am a published author.
So, did you take the indie route or did you take the trad route?
I I went indie and I will probably always be indie. I have a problem with authority, if you couldn't tell by looks.
Oh, really? Crazy.
So I have a problem with authority. And honestly, if they were like, you need to change this in your book, I'd be like, you need to fuck off. So I will probably always and forever be indie because I want to have complete control over my work. I
I'm
want to
proud of
make
you
the
for that.
decisions. Thank you.
I cannot support indie authors enough. I think it's absolutely amazing that they put in all the work for themselves. They don't listen to the rules, the regulations, you can only say this, but you can't say that kind of thing. And I think that the rebellion is amazing, to be honest. Take your power and run with it. And I'm proud of you for putting in the work.
Thank you. It's a lot of work and honestly, my journey was a group journey. It was I can say I did not do absolutely everything by myself. I did hire a cover artist because I am not a digital artist in any way shape or form. I can write. I cannot make this type of art. So I did have a cover artist and I did hire an editor because honestly at that point I could not look at my book again for the 300th time and see typos. Like they all of the words were correct in my brain. And so like I definitely had an editor and I had ARC team and all of that. So everybody literally played a role in making this book come to life. It wasn't just a me journey, it was an us journey. That's for sure.
I'm glad that you give everybody credit for the parts that they played in your journey and you listened to people's advice and you let people play parts in your book and you encourage people to partake in your journey so it's everybody's journey and it plays really well and it's evident reading your book that that's how you went about it. You have your friends in your book, you have
Hmm.
inspiration, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, you know, I can write, but I can't do cover art or I didn't want to edit. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking that route. And you're giving, you know, cover artists and editors or whatever you choose, right, a job opportunity as well. So you're not taking on all that, you know, burden. And I wouldn't say it's even a burden, right? But it's a lot more work. And when you
Hmm.
want to write, you just want to dive in and do just that so you can hyper focus.
Hmm.
So I mean, it's a community, it's community help, it's community support, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, and I definitely, so I wanted to make sure that when I was looking for an editor and a cover artist and different help, that I was going with smaller, like basically indie um people. So my the cover artist is actually an author herself. She has published multiple books. She's an indie author. She also owns a digital um artistry business. She owns her own graphic company and she does like branding. Her name's Juniper Hartman. She wrote Run Rabbit Run and she's written quite a few other books as well. She actually just had one come out really close to mine. It was called A Wolf of War, I believe. But yeah, so she's an indie author, but she also does this. And she has really amazing prices because she wants to be able to help out indie authors. And then with my editor is actually out of Australia. She is a new mom
Oh
and
gosh.
yes, yes, she had her baby right after she finished editing my book. So she is a new mom and so this is what she does for her work and I just wanted to kind of get in on the ground floor like with an editor. And that way, you know, with my first book, we're going to start together and then we're going to go on this journey together. That way we understand, like, I understand how she edits, she understands how I write, and we can just, you know, go from there. And she has amazing prices as well. And it's
She's
also
also
like,
very nice.
she's very, very nice. And it's just, you know, I'm always trying to, you know, find the best deal for myself, but I also want to help out other people at the same time. So both like my cover artist and my editor are both like very indie author friendly priced. So I was able to go that route. Then, you know, with my books, I purchased all of my own ISBNs. So I own my work. I if you know if anything ever happens to Amazon, Amazon goes down or goes rogue or whatever, like I own my work. I own my ISBNs. They can't tell me what to do with my stuff. And I like that's one thing I always tell everyone that I talk to who's thinking about publishing is buy your own ISBN. Like that way you're in control. You are fully in control of your work. You can put that wherever you want.
Can I
Um,
ask how much an ISBN number costs?
I don't know individually. I do know it's cheaper to buy them in a pack of 10, and I think it's like $299 for a pack of 10.
And an
Um,
ISB number has to be put on every single item.
yes. So you do have to, the paperback and the hardcover are two different ISBNs. Ebook would be a different ISBN. So it's not, if you're planning to publish multiple ways, multiple books, it's like, it's not hard to use up your 10 ISBNs. So I believe it's like 299. Maybe it went up. It might be like 399. I'm not really sure. I don't remember. I literally bought my ISBN sitting in the waiting room of the orthopedic surgeon's office because I was under duress because my husband had to get a full hip replacement, and I was like, buy, purchase. I'm sad, purchase.
For those of you indie authors wanting to start out, I would definitely start saving money for those ISBN numbers now. So when the time comes, you can have all ownership of them and
Yes,
nobody can take them from you once you own them. Like they are yours. That's it.
exactly.
So it's funny. I was working with an author, right? And I was going to hide her IBSN number, right?
ISBN.
Yeah, thank you. I'm done Englishing. Um, but I was going to hide it. And she's like, why are you hiding that? And I was like, because I don't want them to steal it. She was like, no, they can't steal it. And I was like, okay, well, you just taught me something now. I was trying to protect you
Yeah,
from an
no.
unknown threat.
Yeah, no, it gets published like in the book and everything. And then the super fun part is that when you buy your ISBN, you in theory become your own publisher. So you get your own like imprint through Valker, which is the ISBN company. So my official business name is Wilder and Wraith.
I
So
love that.
when you open my book, it is copyright by CeCe Wylder. And then in there it says, oh, this one just says CeCe Wylder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my official imprint, if you were to look on Amazon or Barnes and Noble or anywhere books are sold online, you would see that the publisher is Wilder and Wraith. And that's my official business name.
I love that for you. Do you have any books being sold in store?
No, not right now. I have not pursued it. I do have my books on Ingram Spark. So I lied. I am a liar. I
What?
am a straight up liar. I do have books in a bookstore. Oh
Divulge.
no. No, my books are as of Halloween. When the store opens, my books will be in the Inkbound Society in Ireland.
That's phenomenal. Congratulations.
So yeah, yeah, they are there. So if you're in Ireland, feel free to stop by and pick one of those up in person. But if you do have a local bookstore that you love, they can order my book. They do not have to go through Amazon. My book is available through Ingram Sparks. Feel free to please go into your local bookstores and request The Scars of War by CeCe Wylder.
Do you have your own website up?
I do. My website is cecewylder.com.
Can you also purchase your books through your website?
You can. You can get, right now, I actually have misprints because I know people love that. I think that's an interesting situation. But I do have misprint books on there for a discount. I have signed books. I have book boxes. You can get all sorts of things on my website.
So go to ccwilder.com
Yes.
and purchase all of it. You want the book box though. You want to be able to have little shelf trophies of all the things that are in CeCe Wilder's book. I mean, granted, like not the big things, but The things that have meaning that you might miss. I
Yes,
put a lot.
I love putting them together. Um, and yeah, I tried so hard to make sure that like everything that I could find like in my book, I could kind of like put something into the book box for that.
Mm-hmm. That's seriously fantastic that you took the time to actually put some thought into it.
Yeah, I definitely, so I wanted to make sure that A, it was worth people's money because right now times are tight for everyone, like myself included. Times is tough. It's hard up in these streets. But if people are going to spend their money on me, on my book, on my stuff, I wanted to make sure that they got their money's worth. Um, so I've been told so many times that my book boxes are over the top, that I needed to charge more. I I didn't want to do that. I wanted, if you're willing to spend that money on a splurge, a gift for yourself, I want to make sure, it's worth it. So I really took pride and time in creating that, in curating that. And like to be able to see like, you playing with your pen. I can hear you over there,
Oh, can you
like
really?
playing with the pen.
I was trying to look,
Um,
I literally am trying to do it so quietly, so I put the balls between my fingers
yep.
and I was just rolling it. I'm telling you, like there's so many different ways and I had to take a ball off. There was a black ball on there,
Mm-hmm.
but I had to take it off, like twisting it, untwisting it. So, and then you can snap it and unsnap it and roll the balls and flick the balls and do all the fun things with the balls.
With the balls.
But I was trying really hard not to have it make a single sound, so
I have really, really good hearing.
you do. Can you please give me some of your hearing? Like, just share. You're being a little bit greedy.
I'm sorry. I don't, my body doesn't work in any other way. Let me just have my hearing, okay?
Okay, I'll give it to you.
I was just gonna say another thing that I really like wanted to kind of like bring to light is I am I'm pretty open with it, but I don't think I've ever like said this like in this way, but like I am living with chronic illness, and I have multiple autoimmune conditions. So being able to write the book, put together the book boxes, and do all of the things for this journey has had that added pressure, that added stress of, am I going to be able to do this? So being that, I have these physical limitations and I've been able to meet my goal. I met the finish line. Like, I did this. This is mine. Like, I made this. It means so much because when you first get a diagnosis like that, it's so scary. I might cry. It's
Go
so
ahead.
scary because the first thing you think is, how am I going to live the rest of my life? What am I going to do? Oh, so my everyday, my 9 to 5 career is using my hands to write and type, and my brain to be able to like coordinate different things. And I have to, what I do is, honestly, it's really important for a lot of people, and to be able to have all of those details and whatnot is so difficult. But then to take that and then have that fear, I'm not going to be able to do my work, but then also like in my creative outlet, am I going to be able to continue to like put the balls on the pens? Am I going to be able to like close them? Am I going to be able to make these keychains? Am I going to be able to type to put these words on on paper. Like there were so many times where I would have to stop typing. My brain was going. My brain was like, we got this. We're typing. We're getting this story out. And then my hands would just stop working and I wouldn't be able to keep going. Like that fear was so real. But I just want other people to know, like, I was able to do it. So can you. Like, there are so many new things coming out every single day that can help, that are adaptive. Um, so don't let something like a physical limitation limit you. Like, don't let your health limit you. Like, there's a way around everything. And I've had to learn quite a few to be able to get to this point, but the fact that I did really makes seeing my book out in the wild that much more special because I was able to do it. But
And you're
yeah,
not
I
telling
just,
people with limitations like your limitations are invalid. That's not what you're saying.
no,
You're saying find a different way to keep chasing your dreams instead of your diagnosis is holding you back. 1000%. I think a lot of people, our viewers, our friends, family, whatever, they're going to listen to this, right? But that doesn't mean that your diagnosis runs your life. You have to take your power back. And even if it's just getting out of bed, even if it's taking a shower, you still put one small foot in front of the other. And if you can't some days, don't do it. Pain is seriously overlooked in women specifically. I'm not
yeah,
saying that men don't have pain, right? But as women have a huge chunk of diagnoses that are not prone to men, if that makes sense.
there's a very large gender bias in medicine and
1000%.
healthcare.
And the way we get gaslit.
Yeah,
Oh, you have this going on? Okay, lose weight. It'll fix it. Really? Okay. That's
it's just
hilarious.
anxiety. It's
Yeah.
just anxiety.
It's, yeah,
You're fine.
it's anxiety. It's depression. It's whatever, but it cannot be linked to an actual diagnosis because that doesn't exist. And then you fight and you fight and you fight. And that's a whole, we could literally have a whole nother podcast on autoimmune diseases. But CeCe's not discrediting your diagnoses, what you go through. Every small step is a step forward. Just try. Try to not let your diagnosis, completely wash out your drives, your dreams, whatever is going on, because you can still chase them. It just might look a little different.
Yeah, I hope how I said it didn't come off as I was trying to invalidate because I absolutely like never ever would want to invalidate anybody's feelings about their own diagnoses. It just for me, I struggled a lot in the beginning and I was so afraid that I would never be able to do anything because I thought that this diagnosis was it for me. I thought I had to lay down and I had to take it, and that was it. And, just chalk it up to you've officially been diagnosed, you're done. There's nothing else you can do. But once I moved past that and I realized that, I can take my power back and, there are ways to adapt and there's different technology, I was able to really, make my dreams come true. So I hope, that by my bringing that up, nobody feels invalidated. I really want it to be the opposite. I want you to know that your thoughts, your feelings about anything that you have going on, whether that be health wise, like physically, mentally, um, anything, however you feel, your feelings are valid. Like you're valid. And when you're ready, if you're ever ready, You can do it.
You
You can
most,
do it.
it did not come across that way. I just wanted, to put extra emphasis on autoimmune disease, on, diagnoses, on not giving up. Because when you do get a hard diagnosis or you get a diagnosis, period, you feel so defeated. And you're like, okay, this is it. Like, this is done. Especially autoimmune diseases, because you don't typically see when it's going to happen, when the next thing is going to come around, what diagnosis is going to come after that diagnosis, because usually it's a
It's never
cascade.
just one.
It is never just one. But I just wanted to put more emphasis on that because so many people are gaslit and invalidated. And I know that's not what you were doing at all. Just that you're seen, you're heard, you're important, you matter, and don't just lay there and take it. You could have done that and you wrote an amazing book.
I appreciate that. I'm very proud of my accomplishments thus far, and I can't wait to continue to do more of the same. Like I said, this is the first book of 5 in this series, and I plan to do many more standalones. This may be my only series, but it will not be like the only thing you see from me. This is not the end.
I am so incredibly happy and proud of you, your community, your friends, your husband's support for you, your dedication. I am so impressed with you never giving up, your genuine care for other people, and your books. Like, they are absolutely amazing. I'm thankful to have met you.
I'm thankful to have met you, and I'm honestly I'm so thankful like just for everyone in general. Like no matter what, like I feel like every single person that I've crossed paths with has changed my life in some way. So I'm just so thankful. I'm thankful for everybody, especially you. Like we've become like incredibly fast friends, and that is something special.
It's been a pleasure. You're a genuinely kind person, and you keep it real though. You are not scared to call people out on their shit, and I love that. More people need to be like, CeCe Wylder.
I can guarantee there are people who do not feel the same. They did not like it, but honestly, it is what it is.
But you know what? Like I've said on the podcast before, and in general, not everybody's not everybody's book is going to be for everybody, and that's totally okay. I don't see why people can't just pass and be like, okay, well, that book wasn't for me, but I'm not going to sit there and seek out ways to put this author down or to put shame or hate on somebody's book. Why are you laughing?
I'm literally thinking about my 1-star review.
Do not let it get you down, because guess what, Cece?
I've
For
I'm
for everybody for every one person that doesn't like your book, you get more people who love it than who don't love it. So don't let that one person live rent free in your head, or that one review live rent free in your head.
no, it just so it amuses me because so on Goodreads you are able to actually see I don't know if people know this, but people can see like your average rating of books and they can see like your different bookshelves that you have shelved this book on. And when you were saying that, it just reminded me of the shelves that my book was shelved on with that reviewer. And it was like bad writing, bored, and DNF. And I was just like, if you're bored, like I'm really not sure like reading's your thing. Like you might want to try a different hobby. Cause like it's one thing to be like, you know what, this writing style's not for me. Cool, cool. But like bored? You
It's
sure?
definitely not boring. And your book is a quick read. It's
Hmm.
not incredibly complicated. It's not overly world builded. I don't think world builded is the right terminology, but I really don't care. But yeah, and let's be honest, reading has become like this fad, this trend, right? And so the real bookworms, I'm not saying that reading's not great and it's not for everyone. Everybody has their different book genres they like. But I don't think reading should just be a trend or for the season. But yeah, you can most definitely see other people's ratings on Goodreads. You can pull up their account. You can see their books that they're usually reading. So it's very interesting. And you can see what they want to read. You can
Hmm.
see what they've read. But yeah, you can tell all of that on Goodreads.
Yeah, no, I honestly, when I got my 1 star, I said, "Oh, all right." And I'm not gonna lie, it was an immediate like hit to my chest because I was like, "Oh my God, 1 star." But then I was like, let's give them a chance because they actually did leave a review, even though I don't. So here's the thing. I don't agree with leaving reviews if you did not finish the book. How are you going to review it? Like that that's wild to me. But regardless, it was an actually like thought out review. So I was like, "You know what? I'll take it." Like I'm not going to be one of those people that's like salty. Like I you didn't like it, you didn't like my similes, God forbid I use an element of literature, but like
As you
I
say, we're not being salty.
I mean, I'm not gonna be super salty about it. I'm not gonna be like the Morton's girl.
Just a little
Um,
bit salty. Yeah, it's
I'm
fine.
just a tiny bit. Like I'm like I'm I'm salt-free seasoning my life.
But
Um,
it's valid though because you put so much time and effort and poured a lot of yourself into it. So I don't think that your feelings are invalid.
no, I mean, I it was an immediate hit to my chest because I was like, "Oh my God, I got a 1 star." But the fact that they were able to put into that review what they didn't like, I appreciate that. Like, not every book is for every reader. And that is completely fine. Like I said earlier, I DNF'd ACOTAR. Don't tell the masses because, like, they'll hunt me down. But, like, not every book is for everybody, and that's completely fine. So I absolutely appreciated the fact that they did take the time to leave what they didn't like. I mean, I don't feel like it was very like constructive criticism, but like, hey, thank you. Like, thank you for taking the time, A, to read 24% of my book, and B, to actually leave a review. Like, because that's one of the biggest things. Like, for indie authors, reviews are so important. Like they're so important on Goodreads and on Amazon and on the different places like Fable and Storygraph or all of the other ones I don't know about because I suck at social media. Reviews are so, so, so important for indie authors because that's how other people find our books.
1000%. Can I state real quick though that if you leave more than 5 reviews on Amazon, they will delete your reviews as spam. So if you leave reviews on Amazon, you can only do 5 a week. Sorry, that was
Yeah,
my PSA. I almost forgot about it. Go ahead, CeCe, carry on.
I don't know what I was saying, but leave
I meant
reviews.
Willow.
It's important.
It is
Finish
very, very
books.
important.
No, I'm
Finish
just kidding. You
books.
don't have to finish books. That's one thing. That's another thing. Like, I am all about, like, if a book's not for you, don't force yourself to read it. There's so many books out there. And if it's my book, I don't care. Like, if my book's not for you, my book's not for you. Not every book is for me. Like, don't force yourself. Don't spend your time trying to force a read if it's not going to happen.
Your mental
Like,
health matters.
exactly. Exactly. Speaking of that, make sure if you have not read The Scars of War, you go to my website to review my trigger warnings because it is on my website. Thank you.
Very important notice. And you can also buy your book boxes, your books, merch. You can buy all the goodies over on CeCeWylder.com.
Yes, and there will be more merch eventually. I'm currently working on a rebrand. So once my rebrand is complete, I will have actual CeCe Wylder merch. So
Who are you
look for
doing your
that
merch
in the
through?
future. I don't know. Probably maybe a little bit of literary fantasy.
Wow, I've heard of them.
Maybe.
Crazy. Correct me. This is news to me. I didn't know
We'll
that.
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how things roll. But I was most definitely on the literary fantasy website yesterday looking at the custom t-shirts. So
Wow. Well, thank you for your love and support and for watching the podcast. I'm sure you're going to be watching this one too on the big screen.
I might not actually. I'm gonna be so for real. This might be the one I
What?
skip
What? Why? You're amazing.
because I'm gonna look at it and be like, why did you do that? I will pick myself apart. I am my
Okay, skip
biggest
it.
critic.
Skip it. Do not watch it. Your mental health matters too.
I am my biggest critic.
No,
There's nothing that's anybody could ever say to me that I have not said about myself.
I
And
think
that is an issue I have taken up in therapy.
hey, I think a lot of us has been there, and we are our biggest critics. But it's been a pleasure having you on. Is there anything you would like to say to your readers, your friends, your TikTok community, your husband?
My husband knows everything I need to say to him, but I just want to say, to my friends, Richie, Rowan, Nugget, Mog, can't just everybody, also Michael Bailey, literally everyone, Bookworm, my biggest fan, Bookworm. Just thank all of you. Like, thank you so much. I would not have made it here without you. Um, I'm gonna cry, and I already put on my eyeliner, so I'm not gonna cry on the internet. Um,
That's what you say all the time. I already put on my eyeliner. Can't cry on the internet.
can't cry on the internet if you put on your eyeliner. So, but just thank all of you so much. You mean more to me than you will ever know. Go buy all of their books because like they're all indie authors. Bookworm has a blog. It's bookworm-blog.com, literary-fantasy.com. Like honestly, just go support everyone. Like, even if it's not us, if we're not your cup of tea, just go find an indie author and support them. I can't tell you how much it means when we check our dashboard and we see pages read. When we see somebody has bought a book, it means so much. So, yeah, just thank you. If you've made it to the end of this, like, go buy yourself something nice because damn. But yeah, just support an indie author. If it's me, if it's somebody else, whoever, just support indie. That's all. Thank you.
It's very important. Thank you, CeCe. I appreciate you being on, and we will not, you will not see the last of us. By the way, Scars of War by CeCe Wylder. Go purchase it at CeCeWylder.com. Look at
Yes.
that. It's so pretty. I love that
This
you put
is
rhinestones on it.
this is my special rhinestone copy. Actually, this is not. This is not mine. This is for someone special.
I love
Um,
that.
but yeah.
The
So
amount of patience you have blows my mind.
these will be for sale. I am going to a book convention in August of next year, 2026. And I will have a very limited number of rhinestone copies available.
It's gorgeous. I love it. Well, thank you, CeCe, for taking time out of your day to join the podcast and talk about your book.
Thank you for
Books.
having me. Bye.
You're very welcome. Bye.